Carmen to center it with Loicano. The draw won by Carmen. Fed it ahead to Rob Woodward. Woodward around the man, into the corner, into the zone, being pushed there. Shot! Got it away. Carmen stuck inside the net. Now the whistle stops play. The net move. Carmen was literally shoved inside that net, and it was dislodged. Just underway. First period of action. Ready for the drop. The draw controlled by no one. Now picked up by Fitzpatrick briefly. A high shot wide over here to the near side. Back behind for Carmen. Carmen to Oberman. Oberman got the shot away. Just sort of shoveled it through the crease. Now picked up by Brian Carmen. Carmen in close. Carmen through the slot. Shot save. Rebound by Oberman wide. I don't think he really got a hold of it. Now out to Koppelman. Koppelman dumps it in on the delay offside. The Warriors tag up. Fed up ahead and down into the Warrior end of the ice. Right through off Herbst's leg. Now picked up by Koppelman. Koppelman ahead to Woodward. Woodward dipsy doodles and plays around inside his own zone. Now brings it up the ice. Here comes Rob Woodward. Woodward across the red line, the blue line into the zone. Woodward on the left wing. The shot wide over here to the near side. Held in by Pete Karras. Karras dumps it back down into the corner. Woodward collides back down in there with Plunkett, and now picked up by Fitzpatrick, who dumps it out of the zone. Picked up by Koppelman, who dumps it back to the blue line. Broken away and out by Braben. Rappel. Broken away by Maurice, and now we have a penalty, I think, coming up for high sticking on Mamagan. Mark Mamagan going to sit for high sticking. He let Bender have a stick across the side of the head. And Brabendels and Mamagan will sit too. 12:37 to play here in the first period, and the penalty to Mamagan, 2 minutes for high sticking as he cracked Chris Bender on the side of the head with his stick. Drop of the puck, the draw controlled by the Warriors. Tom Freeberg gave it up to Bender. Bender had it poked away from him by Mike Leahy, and now Freeberg will have to retreat in his own zone. Back behind the net, he'll start the rush up ice, got around Brown, and lost the puck in the process, and now we got a penalty coming up for hooking. And I believe it's on Tom Freeberg. Yep. Tom Freeberg will sit 2 minutes for hooking, and that'll take away the power play, and they'll be equal on the ice. Freeberg sits 2 for hooking at 12:18, and we'll be equal out there on the ice. Each team skating 4 aside. Picked up by Koppelman, who retreats behind his own net. Carmen, and he'll try and do the same thing. Broken away briefly by Bodoff. Now picked up by Sean Brown, who dumps it back behind the Deerfield goal line. Picked up by Koppelman. Koppelman ahead to Woodward. Woodward brings it up the ice. Woodward across the red line. Woodward spreads it out into the corner. Woodward tries to control it. Woodward does. In close shot. Save. Rebound. Swept away. Or bounced away. Out to the blue line. Held in briefly by Koppelman. And here come the Loyola Ramblers back up the ice. Ken Bodoff overdid it. Tried to stop to get onside now. Here's Carmen. Carmen into the zone. Carmen shot wide to the far side to Koppelman. Koppelman kept it in the zone. And now dumped out. Back goes John Herbst to the Deerfield zone. Herbst controls there. Herbst fed it ahead to Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen over here to the near side of Rob Woodward. Woodward will bring it into the zone. Takes the slapper from the point wide. Over to Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen sweeps it into the zone and to the corner. Being bothered there is a forechecker with Mike Fitzpatrick, all-star defenseman from the North Division this year. And we got another penalty coming up for holding. We have a penalty for holding coming up. I'm Brian Carmen, maybe. Carmen or Fitzpatrick was back behind the goal. I think it's Brian Carmen that's going to sit for holding. Got Fitzpatrick's leg. Yep, Brian Carmen going to sit for holding. Grabbed hold of Mike Fitzpatrick's leg back behind the net there. 11:03 and we're just underway. Up into Brabant. Brabant gave it back to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick brings it up the ice for the Loyola Ramblers. Ahead to Lycano. Mike Lycano into the zone. Lycano around to Brabant. Shot, save, rebound. Link shot, saved by Adam Marcus. And now picked up by Maurice. Maurice couldn't get out of the zone. Lycano shot, pad save by Adam Marcus. Over here to the near side. Backhanded into the zone by Link. Now picked up by the Deerfield Warriors and dumped and cleared. They're 2 men down right now. Picked up by Mamogan just on the ice after his penalty. Mark Mamogan over here to the near side. Brabant across the red line into the Deerfield zone. Brabant spreads it out on the right wing, or left wing rather, out to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick ranges in off the point. Gave it to Brabant. Brabant in the corner to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick backhand, short shot, save. Broken up by Mamogan and trying to clear it. And now dumped out of there and just a little bit beyond Tom Freeberg's reach. Picked up by Fitzpatrick, and he brings it up the ice. Bounced off his stick at the red line. Now picked up by Link, and he dumped it and cleared and dumped it right out into the crowd. 9:54 to play in the period, and no score. Still have 51 seconds left on the Brian Carmen penalty for holding. This is the Metro North Hockey Network. Coverage of the quarterfinals in state. Swatted into the zone. Back and the save by Meehan. Plunkett fed it up ahead. Broken away by Tom Freeberg. Freeberg dumps it back in the zone, but then got a hit by Rappel and didn't get it in deep. Quinn Bonoff off his skate and down into the Deerfield end. Picked up now by Pete Karras. Karras backhand out of the zone. Blindside, a long shot and the save. Cooper got it away. Rappel now picked up by Freeberg. Tom Freeberg turning around. He and Sean Brown collide in the corner, and they'll try and freeze it there. Now broken away by John Herbst, and Herbst swats at it out to the point, kept in the zone by Cooper. Up on the dasher boards, and they'll freeze it up there, and they do. 2 seconds left on the minor. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Marist Glenbrook South game in the semifinals. And if whoever wins that one will then move on into state. And play in Chicago Stadium. Picked up by Mike Higgins now. Mike Higgins behind the net for the Ramblers. Higgins tried to backhand it out into the slot. Now out to Plunkett at the point. Plunkett over to the far side. Fenner nearly got the shot away, brought off a leg. Now picked up, hand pass, as Fenner picked it up. And the Deerfield line back on Woodward, Oberman, and Carmen. Back on. And the Ramblers counter with Mamogan, Rappel, and I think, I didn't really see who that was over there on the far side. I'll get it. Feely. Jay Feely, the other forward for Loyola. Koppelman, Karras, back to Koppelman. Carmen dumps it into the zone. Meehan leaves it back behind the net, over to the far side. Now back over here on the near side. Karras kept it in the zone. Pete Karras winds and shoots, and a save by Meehan. Out beyond the blue line, and Koppelman has to retreat, dumps it in, and we have a delay offside on the part of the Ramblers. The Warriors picked up by the Ramblers and dumped down. And that's icing against Loyola. The shot by Herbst, and the save by Meehan on a high shot. Carmen. Over to Herbst. Herbst shot. Oh, save! Oh, my goodness. Bouncing around up there, deflected up, and a save by Meehan. to the far side. Picked up by Carmen. Carmen to Woodward. To Oberman. Got the shot away. Woodward looking for the rebound, but Meehan clamped it to the ice. 7:46 now to play in the period. No score, just underway. First period in the quarterfinal game. Dropping the puck's going to come here inside the Loyola end. And Deerfield putting on the Winfrey line. Winfrey, Grenade, and Jester with Koppelman and Herbston still at defense. Waiting for the drop and the draw to the corner in the Loyola end. Picked up by Whittakin. Had trouble with it. Grenade's doing a good job of kicking it around in there. Winfrey dumped it to the Deerfield net. Over here now to the near side, and Higgins couldn't get it out of the zone. Picked up by Todd Link, who dumps it out. All the way down to Herbst at his own blue line, who gave it over to Koppelman. Koppelman ahead to Link. Link ran into a leg. The way offside on the part of the Deerfield Warriors. Grenade out to Koppelman at center ice. Koppelman dumped it, ran into a Walsh. Now picked up by Winfrey, and Winfrey dumped it into the zone. Link over here on the near side. Cooper dumps it right back out. Walsh a little too far for Whittakin, and it'll wash off icing, and the Deerfield Warriors will pick it up in their own end. Herbst fell down right through the slot, and Higgins was there but couldn't get around Koppelman. Cooper dumps it right back in, and Herbst will be back there for the Deerfield Warriors to bring it up the ice. And he dumped it all the way too far. Ran off somebody, though, and washed off the icing. Meehan left it for Link. Link over here on the near side to Brian Rappel. Brian Rappel fed up ahead. Now picked up by Karras. He, in turn, lost it to Bodoff, and Bodoff dumped it into the zone. Koppelman chasing Bodoff over here to the far side. Winfrey off his leg. Tried to center it through, and Koppelman picked it up to the near side. Plunkett. Mamagin couldn't get the shot away, and Karras comes up with the puck. Karras feeds it up ahead, losing it to Plunkett. Plunkett dumped it back into the zone, and now a whistle stops play, and we'll see. Offside or net move, something like that. Moving net. Those nets are down on the stanchion, and if that net moves, then the whistle will stop play. But they're on a stanchion. They're supposed to break away so the players don't get hurt. And I think Chris Bender bumped it a little while back. Plunkett dumped it into the zone. And that's all he did, just barely into the zone. Now backhanded into the zone by Leahy. Pete Karras chasing down Sean Brown, the forechecker. Sean Brown shoots it around to the near side. Leahy and Jeff Warren, Koppelman. Now Brabant backhanded, ran into traffic. Broken away by the Deerfield Warriors. Here's Tom Freeberg. Freeberg up the ice. Freeberg, 3-on-3. Gave it back to Maurice. Maurice couldn't hold onto the puck. Fed back again to Bender. Bender lost it and turned to Mike Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick turns around and dumps it ahead. Now here's Brabant. Brabant into the Deerfield end. Down he went all by himself. Got his feet a little tangled up. Leahy over here to the near side, picked up by Chris Bender. Chris Bender up ahead for Tom Freeberg. Freeberg brings it into the zone, high slot, stops, gives it to Bender. Bender shot, save, rebound, broken stick in there. Bender broke his stick. Out to the point, Jeff Warren. Warren from the high slot takes the shot, the save, and now it'll be held on there by Meehan. Face off on the far side, inside the Loyola end. No score, first period. Brian Carmen will face off with Loicano. Mike Loicano. Loicano won the draw briefly. Now picked up briefly by Woodward. Woodward controls it. Woodward still controls. Woodward to Carmen. The shot, the save, and we lose the puck. Carmen let it rise, and it just kind of trickled up on the shoulder of Meehan. Meehan making the shoulder save and deflecting it out of the ring. And again, we'll have a face-off inside the Loyola end. And we wait. We're having some line changes going on out there with the Loyola Ramblers. And now we're ready. Drop of the puck coming up. No. A little problem with offside at the face-off. We'll hold off. They tried to do it, and the errors on the face-off. We'll wait and try and do it again. Some problems at the face-off. Offside. Oops. Again, some offside. Pat Mullen offside this time on the face-off. Waiting for the offside. There's some problems with some offsides here on the face-off. Now there's Woodward shot. The save by Meehan. Carmen with the backhander, the save. The rebound. Save. Rebound. Score! Rob Woodward. Three shots and in. Meehan made an initial super save on Woodward. Second one. And then they had another one. And the Deerfield Warriors up on top 1-0 on the goal by Rob Woodward. And Tom Freeberg on the face-off. Bodoff tried to get it into the zone. Broken up by Maurice. Now picked up by no one. Now squatted in there by Mark Mamogan to the corner. In the Deerfield end. Pete Karras. Karras brings it up the ice. Karras over here on the near side. Chris Bender. Chris Bender up ahead. Bender into the zone. Bender spreads it out. Bender on the backhand. Couldn't get the shot away. To the backboards. Broken away by Todd Link. And they kind of caught up on that... there's a funny little area under there. Out to the point now. Eric Koppelman. Shot and the save by Meehan. And now some pushing and shoving. Mamogan and Maurice. Nothing called. Oh, yes, they are going to call it. Mamogan and Maurice, I think, are both going to go sit for roughing. Coincidental minors. Maurice and Mamogan for roughing. Over by the Zamboni door where the ice resurfacer comes at, that ice is real rough down there, and a couple of times today we've had pucks kind of squirt under there, and a couple of other times we've had trouble with the with funny rebounds off those boards. That's a real funny little area down there, and that happened to Todd Lincoln there. And again, some troubles with the face-off. We'll try it again. To Woodward just behind him to Koppelman. Koppelman keeps it in the zone to Carmen. Tried a backhand pass and broken away by Fitzpatrick. 3-on-2 break for the Ramblers into the zone. Rappel tried to turn the corner, couldn't do so. Rappel over here to the near side. He still controls. Rappel will feed it out to the point if he can and plunk it. Nope, instead out to Woodward. Woodward breaks it out. Woodward, Tipsy Doodles can't get around Fitzpatrick. Takes the shot from the left wing. The save by Meehan. Now Woodward and Fitzpatrick collide along the board. Now picked up by Woodward. Rob Woodward spreads it out. Woodward turns around. Woodward turned around shot. Oh, wide. Oh, what a move. Out to Carmen. Carmen along the boards. And they'll push and shove along there. And there was a hand pass, and they missed it. And Woodward keeps it in the zone. Woodward from the slot to Carmen. Carmen tried to find Woodward, broken up by Plunkett. Plunkett picks it up for the Loyola Ramblers. Plunkett plays around, brings it through the slot. And he'll set up the play to Brabant. Brabant up the ice. Takes the shot. The save by Marcus. A rebound swept away by Koppelman from the slot. Here's Eric Koppelman up the ice. Eric Koppelman across the red line, the blue line into the Loyola end. Squirts towards the goal. Broken away by Fitzpatrick. Now gives it to Loicano. Loicano in the corner. Now Freeberg keeps it in the zone at the point. To the far point. Woodward's shot, Carmen's shot was high and wide. Now picked up by Bender. Bender back behind the net. Now that's what you call really goofing players up. Carmen's what, about 5'8", and Woodward's 6'3", and I confused them. Dumped all the way down. That's icing against the Ramblers. I'll move it down into the Ramblers' end. Now, how confused can you get to confuse Brian Carmen and Rob Woodward? The face-off going to take place inside the Rambler end of the ice. Backhand by Koppelman as the plays resumed again. Link fed ahead, and Koppelman will chase it down at his own blue line. Gives it over here to Herbst. Herbst really fanned on the shot. Mullen dumped it in and gave it to Koppelman. The penalties are over. Teams are back to full and equal strength. Mullen dumped it back into the zone. Picked up by Maurice. Maurice fed it ahead over here to the near side. Intended for Bender, and Bender now picks it up. Bender at the red line. Brings it into the zone. Tries to turn the corner. Did so. Shot. Oh, just trickled wide to the corner. They kick at it, swat at it. Try to feed it through the slot, and that's broken up. Now picked up by Sean Brown, and Brown dumps it to center ice. Now here's Herbst. Herbst dumps it in. Todd Link. And we lose the puck again into the crowd. And the wholesale line changes once again. With about a minute 19 here left to play in the first period. Deerfield Warriors on top 1-0 on the goal by Rob Woodward. The drop of the puck to draw, controlled by the Warriors. Karras through traffic. Deflected wide. Now picked up by Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen turns around to the left wing. Carmen to Woodward. And broken up by Jay Feely. Karras gave it up to Whittakin, and he in turn gave it up to Carmen at center ice. Now fed ahead for Woodward, just a little bit too far. Now over here to Karras at the red line, into the zone, and the Warriors will have to tag up a delay offside. Washed off by the tag up. Now here's Woodward from the left wing. Woodward to Carmen off his skate. Now Woodward comes up with it anyway. Woodward takes a backhand shot wide. Jay Feely. Feely lost it to Oberman, and that got caught up in their skates into the corner. Now Brian Carmen. Carmen to Woodward. Underneath him over to Herbst at the point. Shot just wide. And now here comes Mike Higgins back up the ice for the Ramblers. Higgins down. He goes. Herbst. John Herbst. Up ahead, Rob Woodward. Rob Woodward at the red line. Woodward at the blue line. Into the zone. Woodward turns around. Still controls. Woodward takes the shot wide. Over to the near side, and Pete Karras couldn't keep it in the zone. Pushed out of there by Rappel, backhanded towards the zone by Herbst as the horn sounds, ending the first period. At the end of the first period of play, the score, the Deerfield Warriors 1 and the Loyola Ramblers 0. You're watching the Metro North Hockey Network coverage of the quarterfinals of the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois State Tournament. We'll be back in just a moment right after these messages with the second period. To get underway, Deerfield on top 1-0. This is the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois State quarterfinals. Deerfield on top. Cooper picks it up across the red line, dumps it into the zone, picked up by Pete Karras. Pete Karras back behind the net, over here to the near side. Mamogan right through the slide to the far side and out. Head man Pete Maurice. Maurice into the zone. To Freeberg. Freeberg shot wide. We got a penalty coming up. And there's the penalty for hooking. Coming up against Leahy, I believe. Mike Leahy. Gonna go for hooking. I think he got Pete Maurice. Freeberg got the shot away, and then Maurice was hooked by Leahy over on the right wing. Face-off will take place inside the Loyola end, out to the point. Freeberg had to take it out of the zone. Carmen gives it over to the far side. Koppelman Rags it around a little bit along the blue line. Now here's Carmen bringing it into the zone. Broken up and cleared by Quinn Bodoff. Picked up by Koppelman behind his own net, and he'll bring it up the ice. Deerfield with the man advantage. Dumped back in by Brian Cooper. Now Cooper will go range in as the forechecker. Picked up by Freeberg. Freeberg gave it to Carmen, and Carmen will bring it up the ice. Brian Carmen across the red line, the blue line, into the zone. He still controls. Carmen feeds it back to Woodward. Rob Woodward, double teamed off the puck. Here's Dan Braben. Braben with Bodoff. Tried to feed it in and broken up by Koppelman. Now here's Bender. Bender ahead to Freeberg. Tom Freeberg into the zone. Freeberg ranges around, stops, looks, tries to give and go. Tried to feed it to the spot, broken up and cleared. Here's Pat Mullen, first man back. Mullen shot, saved by Adam Marcus, picked up by Chris Bender. Fed ahead, Rob Woodward. Woodward across the red line. Buster versus speed. Woodward shot, save. We lost the puck up onto the netting behind the net, behind the goal. That tremendous reach of Rob Woodward. Came up with that puck, and then he ranged in and dipsy-doodled around a little bit and made the Loyola defense stop on their heels, and then he took a shot and went off me and up on the high side, up on the pads, the shoulder, and he managed to deflect it out of the rink. 39 seconds left on that minor. Here's the shot, the save, the rebound to Fitzpatrick, who dumps it down. Tom Freeberg with Chris Fenner, the forechecker. Freeberg fed it up ahead, now picked up by Todd Link at center ice. Link backhands it, broken, knocked down by Freeberg, but he then lost it to Link, who in turn lost it now to Rappel. Now picked up by Freeberg. Freeberg ahead to Woodward. Woodward stops. Woodward over to Carmen. Carmen tried to turn the corner and couldn't do it and hold the puck at the same time. Up to Freeberg. Freeberg at the point. Keeps it in the zone. Gave it to Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen to Woodward. Backdoor! Rob Woodward saw that one coming, saw him on the back door. And the goal, and it's 2-0, Deerfield Warriors. Carmen gets the assist, and I think Freeberg gets an assist on that one. Ready for the drop of the puck. The drop controlled by the Deerfield Warriors. Jeff Warren. Warren dumps it into the zone. Meehan leaves it back there, picked up by Plunkett. Fed up ahead, deflected out to center ice. Dumped back in, but Winfrey's offside. Winfrey tags up. Now picked up by Pete Maurice, and Maurice lost it and turned to Jason Whittakin. Whittakin into the zone. Jason Whittakin to Herb. Herb backhands it up ahead to Oberman. Oberman fed it down, and Cooper was first man back, and Cooper deflects it out of the rink. Lose the puck and gain a faceoff. 11:03 left to play in the period. Drop of the puck in the draw, controlled by the Loyola Ramblers. Cooper shot, the save by Adam Marcus. Swats it to the corner. Leahy dumps it around to the far side. Picked up now by Winfrey. Winfrey off a body and picked up by Mamogan. Mamogan in turn lost it back to Pete Karras. Pete Karras into the zone. Karras gave it to Oberman. Offside. Offside on the part of the Deerfield Warriors.
Your back was turned. How can you call it?
2-0 in the second period. 10:41 to play in the second. In the Metro North standings, individual scorers during the regular season, we'll get to that. Tom Freeberg shot and the save by Meehan. Out to center ice. Koppelman ranged it towards the center. Picked up now by Leahy, who dumped it in. Mamogan in the corner. Leahy ranges in to join him, and they're trying to freeze it there. Now broken away. Brian Rappel. Rappel tried to turn the corner, couldn't do so. Fed up now to Bender. Bender under Stuart Jester and dumped back in by Cooper. The Warriors, Ramblers rather, tag up. Washing off the offside. Now Stuart Jester to the far side. We got a penalty coming up to Karras. Pete Karras going to go off for 2. He clobbered Sean Brown, who ranged in to the goalie crease for a high stick. Pete Karras will sit 2 minutes for high sticking at 10 minutes exactly of the period. Sean Brown came into the zone and into the crease, and Pete Karras took offense with it and hit him on a high stick, and that will be the penalty. High sticking on Pete Karras. Now here comes Rob Woodward. Woodward out through the slot all the way down. Meehan gave it up to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick brings it up the zone, brings it up for Loyola. Fitzpatrick lost it to Carmen. Brian Carmen now in turn lost it to Sean Brown and brought it into the Deerfield end. And out it goes to center ice all the way down to the red line. Woodward will retreat in his own zone and control the play as he does so well. Woodward blindsided by Quinn Bodoff. Now picked up by Braben. Braben into the zone. Right through, now over to Sean Brown. Sean Brown shot, ran into a leg, broken up and cleared all the way down by Koppelman. And Meehan leaves it back there. Fitzpatrick in the Loyola end. Back down. Fitzpatrick to the far side, over to Loicano, out to center ice. John Herbst at the red line, dumps it back to the Loyola end. And now brought up by Jason Whittakin. No, I take that back. Pat Plunkett to Loicano. Loicano tried to feed blindside through everything. Over here to the near side. Out and cleared. And Braben was looking to take a dive and get a penalty. Nothing doing. Plunkett. Loicano picked up by Winfrey through everything. And now here come the Loyola Ramblers. Hand pass. But it'll be washed off because it'll go to a Loyola player, picked up by Fitzpatrick. Over here to the near side and swatted at by Winfrey, brought up to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick across the red line, booming shot, ooh, just wide. Pat Mullen out, broken away by Winfrey. Winfrey fades it ahead, and Maurice never even tried to go into the zone. The penalties are over. Team's back at full and equal strength. Morgan fed it ahead. And now picked away by Pete Maurice at center ice. Maurice into the zone. Maurice spreads it out to the corner. Maurice didn't have his stick down, but the puck still managed to get it to the corner, and they'll freeze it there along the boards on the near side. Well, this morning in the play that in the other bracket, the 2 North Division teams, Glenbrook North and New Trier, were both taken out on hosings, as it were, by referees. Glenbrook North actually won that game, and they disallowed a goal because the ref never even saw it. He was standing out by the blue line instead of being in where he was supposed to be. He would have seen the goal go in. Here's John Herbst, the shot, the save by Meehan, and he'll hold it. And New Trier went up in the third period. They had the score tied at 2-2 with Stevenson, although they probably shouldn't have. But anyway, they had the score tied at 2-2 and got 2 penalties, questionable though they were, and 2 power play goals by Stevenson, and that was all she wrote for the New Trier Trevians green team. Pete Maurice bounced off the boards, back behind the net. Now it's picked up by Cooper. Fed ahead, and here's Jason Whittakin. Whittakin over here on the near side. Chris Fenner. Fenner picks it up and dumps it into the Deerfield end. Jason Whittakin back behind the net for the Ramblers. Being bothered back there by Freeberg, and now Herbst and Higgins, and they'll freeze the puck down behind the Deerfield goal line. About halfway through the second period. Like I said, it's always tough. I mean, at this stage of the game, you lose a game and you're out for the year. Your season is over. And what is always so tough is to watch those seniors hang up the skates and move on to doing other things and leaving. And I wish them every luck, whichever seniors it is that finish up their season today. And it's been fun. Don't be such strangers, let us know. Even if it's not playing hockey, it's important to know what you're doing. You're important as people too, not just as hockey players. They'll lose a puck into the Loyola bench. Feeding it out of the zone, the Ramblers, the Warriors dumped it into the Loyola bench. And it's always tough to see you go. And we wish you every luck, and we hope that the seniors, whoever you are, whichever team it is, let us know. Like to see you around at some of the games all year long. Next year, whatever. Jeff Warren couldn't get it out of the zone. Oberman does. Mark Mamogin, but Carmen got there first. Now fed ahead by Fitzpatrick, backhanded to Carmen, to Woodward. Woodward into the zone. Woodward, blindside pass for Oberman. Underlet him. And now it's picked up by Plunkett. Plunkett couldn't get it out of the zone. Carmen, the forechecker, right through the slot. Now it's picked up by Mamogin to the far side. Rappel knocked off the puck by Jeff Warren. Gave it up to Woodward. Woodward tries to bring it through the zone. He can't do it. Over here to the near side. Brabant and Koppelman. Koppelman came up with the puck with now Mullen also joining in. Back to Mullen. Mullen right through. Shots. Goal! Sean Brown with the goal. Sean Brown with the goal. And it's 2-1. Robin and Mullen with the assist. And now we wait for the line change. Loyola wanted to make a line change here after their goal. Two to one, the Warriors now. Maurice and Bender both offside. Drop of the puck, and it ranges all the way down into the Deerfield end. Marcus dumps it to the boards for Koppelman, who backhanded it out, didn't get it out of the zone. Now to Pete Maurice. Maurice had it bounce off his stick, and now out to center ice. Todd Link. And down goes Maurice. Maurice fed it ahead for Freiberg. Now Bodoff for Sean Brown, and broken away now. Pete Maurice ahead. Oh, just on a cherry pick to Freiberg misconnections. Freiberg into the corner with Link in the Loyola end. All the way through. Back door to Karras. Couldn't find it. I think it was a save in there by a defenseman. Pete Karras, who's ranged in off the point, gave it in to Bender. Bender to Maurice. Maurice back to Bender. Bender with the back door. Shot, a goal! Tom Freiberg! Tom Freiberg with the goal. It's 3-1. Deerfield Warriors. Deerfield's come back, picked up that goal they lost. They got a 2-goal lead again. Chris Bender gets the assist. There's another assist there. I forgot who got it. Over to the far side, and Plunka dumps it over here to the Deerfield blue line. Now back over to the Loyola blue line. Fitzpatrick missed it, and it retreats all the way into the Loyola end, where it's picked up by Plunka. Plunka to to Mullen. Mullen a head man to Higgins. Higgins into the zone. Higgins 2-on-1 break. We got a penalty coming up to Koppelman. Now broken away and picked up by the Deerfield Warriors. And the penalty to Eric Koppelman for tripping. Eric Koppelman will sit 2 for tripping at 4:58 of the period. He tripped up Mike Higgins as Higgins tried to turn the corner. And our face-off will take place inside the Deerfield end of the ice where the infraction took place. Metro North Hockey Network coverage of the quarterfinals in state. Fitzpatrick to center ice, dumped it back in. That's offside. Fitzpatrick dumped it back in the zone, but it was offside. Touched by Quinn Bodoff, stopping play. Metro North Hockey Network, glad to bring you the broadcast. We'll be here all the way through state if our Metro North teams make it that far. This bracket, 3 of 4 teams are Metro North teams. All the way over here on the near side. Picked up by Herbst. Herbst dumps it out to center ice. Picked up by Pat Plunkett. Plunkett over to the far side. Quinn Bodoff. Bodoff couldn't touch it. Would have been offside. Dumped and cleared now by the Deerfield Warriors. Meehan leaves it there. And he'll clamp it to the ice with Woodward. Pinching in. I mean, if I were a goalie and I saw Rob Woodward, all 6'3", 225 pounds of him clamp running in on me, I'd clamp it to the ice too. I don't care. I don't care what the rules are. I'd clamp it to the ice too. I don't think Rob was going to do anything, but I mean, just the size of him alone would scare you. Pete Garrett's out and down and around. Over here to the near side, Rob Woodward, and we got a penalty for high sticking. On Rob Woodward. Rob Woodward goes 2 for high sticking. And I didn't see that one. I don't know where that one was. Back behind the play. And Rob Woodward is screaming at the refs on this one. Rob Woodward, 2 minutes for high sticking. Rich Simak, the referee, giving the call. And they'll put Freiberg, Herbst, and Karras as the forecheckers. Deerfield down by 2 men, but up by goal. And I think we got another penalty coming up. A bench minor. A bench minor on Deerfield. A bench minor added on to that. So Deerfield is going to play down by 3 for 3 minutes at least there. A bench minor on the coach, the assistant coach. That's Bob Klein. Not. So at 4:29, Deerfield is going to be down 2 men for a long time here. They have 1:31 left on the Koppelman minor. 2 minutes left on the Woodward minor. And now an additional delay minor that won't even start for another 1:31 or whatever that is till the end of that first minor. They blew that on the clock. Time is called and they'll try and redo it. The time that's got to go up on the clock is 3:31, and I don't think they know how to put it up on this clock. This is a computerized clock that I don't think they know anything about. So meanwhile, we'll have a stoppage of play. They tried it again, and they didn't do it. You can't put it up as 2 minutes, guys. You got to put it up as 3:31 up on that clock, and that is the problem. It's got to go up as 3:31. And Drop of the puck. The draw controlled by the Ramblers. Fed ahead. Bodoff over here to Brown. Offside, and they blew it to the corner. Heavy check up back there along the boards. Now up ahead. Here's Plunkett. Plunkett turned around over here to the near side. And Sean Brown. And no, the net moved, I believe. The net moved, stopping play. The net moved. A minute 31 left on the first minor. A minute 40 left on the Woodward minor, and the bench minor hasn't even started yet. That's a delay minor on the part of the Deerfield Warriors. Bob Klein getting that one. And a little pushing and shoving going on, and they're going to kick Tom Freeberg out of there. Herbst will face off with Sean Brown now. John Herbst. And now Herbst and Sean Brown have it, and now Freeberg dumped it to the boards. Up ahead, there was a rough that could have been called over there on Freeberg. Wasn't. Mullen. Freeberg got hit. That's what I meant to say. Oh, there's a Plunkett here on the near side. Shot. Oh, just wide. To the far side. Up to Fitzpatrick. Kept in. Fitzpatrick to Plunkett. Plunkett right again. Shot. Save. Rebound. Fitzpatrick shot. Save. Goal! Now some pushing afterwards with Herbst and Mullen. And I think they're going to send Mullen. But the goal, and it's 3-2. Yeah, I think we got some penalties for roughing on Mullen. And Herbst, or just Mullen. Is it coincidental, minors? I think it should. I think it probably should be, but there'll be a question whether or not he's going to call it. Now Simak having a word with the captain of the Deerfield Warriors, Brian Carmen, about that. Sean Brown. Out for Carmen. Carmen brings it up. Carmen gave it to Freeberg. Freeberg tried to turn the corner. Freeberg brought it in, and the refs, the Deerfield fans, all upset, thought that should have been tripping. Over here on the near side, and they'll freeze it along the boards there. Getting a little ragged here in the second period, in the waning moments of the second period. Woodward has 44 seconds on his minor. That's the only one that I can see that I can decipher who's got his time left. A lot of room on the Deerfield bench, and not much room in that penalty box. They got 4 guys standing there. 4-on-3 out on the ice. And here's the drop of the puck. The draw controlled by Freeberg to Carmen. Back to Freeberg. Freeberg tried to feed it ahead and just dump it into the zone. Mike Fitzpatrick will pick it up for the Loyola Ramblers. Fitzpatrick bounced it off the boards out to Rappel, who dumped it down into the Deerfield end. Picked up now by Freeberg, and Freeberg will dump and clear. Cooper fed up ahead, ran off a skate, picked up now by Brian Carmen. Carmen on the backhand, couldn't get the shot away. Freeberg to the corner with Cooper, broken away from him by Carmen. Carmen back to Karras. Karras from the red line, shot ran into somebody. I think he ran into Freeberg. Loicano had it swept away from him by Carmen, and Carmen will rag it. The Woodward minor's over, but he can't come out because there'll be too many men on the ice. Got to wait for a whistle. Now dumped down and cleared. Cooper behind the net. Over for Loicano. Loicano to Bodoff. Bodoff back to Loicano. Picked away by Carmen, and Carmen dumps it out of the rink. And both Koppelman and Woodward are now back out on the ice because Carmen dumped it into the crowd. He really killed multiple birds with one stone. One, he got the whistle that stops the play to get Woodward back out on the ice and Koppelman back out on the ice. And second of all, he also managed to dump it right into the Loyola crowd. Hey guys, keep your mouth shut, huh? See, it does multiple multiple duty. They're ready for the drop of the puck. The drop of the draw controlled by the Ramblers. Picked up by Rob Woodward. Woodward dumps it out and clears himself all the way down. And we're down to 2 minors here. Going to be served to the far side. Here comes Momagan into the zone. Momagan on the near side. And they'll fight for it there. Fitzpatrick lost it to Koppelman. Koppelman dumps it. Didn't get it out of the zone. Bodoff kept it in. Bodoff got the shot away on the near side. To the far side now, and Koppelman. Koppelman brings it up and dumps it and clears. Fitzpatrick. Mike Fitzpatrick up ahead, ran into a skate. Sean Brown. Sean Brown brings it up the ice. Sean Brown across the blue line. Brown shot, the save by Adam Marcus. Mullen overskated it. Pete Karras ran it right into Mullen. Now Karras picks it up again and brings it around behind his own net. Bounced it off the boards, out to the point, held in by Todd Link. Link gave it up in the high slot to Fitzpatrick. Shot, save, rebound, score! No! No goal! Net move! No goal, the net moved. No goal on the face-off, the net moved. And Adam Marcus is hurt. Or maybe just winded. I think he had the wind knocked out of him. No goal, the net moved, I believe is the call. That's a proper call. He was just a little late making it. He should have made it before the Ramblers grabbed hold of that puck. 42 seconds left to play in the second period, and Adam Marcus is down. I think he's still down by 2 men. Dumped and cleared out of the zone with about 8 seconds left on that first of the 2 minors still being served. Now here picked up by Tom Freeberg. Freeberg dumps it out to center ice, and the penalty's over. And there's only 1 now up on the clock. Backhanded out of the zone by Brian Carmen, and down Todd Link will chase it down. Link will pick it up there. Todd Link brings it up the ice. Link over to the far side. Up ahead, Mullen, broken away by Herbst. Herbst couldn't get it out of the zone. Herbst tried again. Herbst got it out to center ice. All the way down. Fitzpatrick couldn't chase it down. As we wind down in the second period, Fitzpatrick to the near side. And as Sean Brown picks it up and shoots it ahead, the horn sounds, and in the second period. At the end of the second period of play, the score, the Deerfield Warriors 3 and the Loyola Ramblers 2. You're watching the Metro-North hockey broadcast of the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois state quarterfinals. And we'll be back after these messages with the third period of tonight's action. This is the Metro-North Hockey Network coverage of the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois quarterfinal game between the Loyola Ramblers and the Deerfield Warriors. Deerfield on top 3-2, and this is third period action. All set to get underway. Mark Braun, glad you're with us again for tonight's action. Just about set for the drop of the puck. The Ramblers waiting to come back up. The Ramblers still have 19 seconds left on the lone minor remaining up on the board. There's just 1 more minor left up there. Now the drop of the puck and the draw controlled by the Ramblers. Back down into the zone. Pat Plunkett picks it up back there. Plunkett along the near boards. Fed it up ahead. Picked up by Herbst. Herbst dumped it in. Carmen, the forechecker. Now back to Herbst. Herbst dumps it back again, and this time it ran into Rappel, and Rappel and Herbst collide. Picked up by Koppelman, and finally all the penalties are over. Teams are back at full and equal strength. Woodward clobbered to the corner. Over here to the near side, Leahy took the shot over here. And now picked up by Herbst. Herbst ran it off Oberman, and then it actually trickled out over the rink. 13:24 to play in the third period. 3-2, Deerfield Warriors on top. These teams have met a whole bunch of times here. 3 times that I know of. And Loyola has a victory against the Deerfield Warriors in the very first game of the season this year. Plunkett gave it to Sean Brown. Sean Brown shot, save, rebound. Back behind the net to the far side. Picked up by Carmen ahead to Woodward. Woodward out of the zone. Rob Woodward brings it up ahead. Woodward on the backhand on the right wing. Fed it right to Carmen. Oh, just off the end of his stick. Turnaround shot by Woodward wide. Rebound to Sean Brown. Dumped and cleared all the way down. And they're going to wash off the icing. Pete Karras. Karras and Sean Brown now picked up over here on the near side. Oberman to Woodward. Woodward, he had it knocked off by Whittakin and dumped in now by Pete Karras. Knocked down by Mike Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick out to Karras. Karras ran into a leg. Quinn Botoff. 2 Loyola Ramblers into the corner. Eric Koppelman came up with it first, though, for the Deerfield Warriors. Up ahead. Now here's the shot, the save, the rebound wide. The shot by Quinn Botoff. Now on the backhand, out to the point, held in, a long shot, the save. Now to Mike Higgins, right through the slot to the near side. Here's Aaron Oberman. Oberman bounced it out to center ice, picked up by Pat Plunkett. Plunkett dumped and cleared all the way down. And a wash off on the icing as it turned out to be a shot on goal. Left there by Mike Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick over here on the near side, dumped it up ahead. Dumped right back by Herbst. No, picked up by Chris Bender. Bender into the zone. Down they go. Got a penalty coming up. Got a penalty coming up on Mike Higgins for holding. Held Chris Bender. Had he been any closer, they could have been Siamese twins. He had him all wrapped up around, and they could have welded each other together. Mike Higgins will sit up there for the Loyola Ramblers for holding at 11:42 of the third period. The face-off will take place inside the Rambler end. And we'll wait for the drop of the puck. It'll take place there. Brian Carmen will face off with Mark Mamogan. Drop of the puck. Rob Woodward. Woodward will feed it out to Koppelman. Koppelman to the far point and Freeberg. Freeberg into Carmen. Carmen tried to sweep a shot in. A shot by Meehan and a save. The shot and the save, actually, it turned out. It was a weird sort of trickling thing to the slot, and Meehan clamped it down to the ice. In this bracket of state, we have 3 Metro North teams. These 2, and then also Glenbrook South still alive. Dumped and cleared out of there by Quinn Botoff. Picked up now by Eric Koppelman. Koppelman to Freeberg. Freeberg to Koppelman. To Carmen on the far side. Carmen across the red line. Carmen couldn't get it double teamed through. And now the whistle stops play. And Tom Freeberg actually joined in a little bit over there, pushing Todd Link down to the ice with the puck underneath him. I think it was offside is actually what it ended up being on the part of the Deerfield Warriors. It kind of went in and out and in and out and in and out right along the blue line. And we wait here some sort of discussion on the part of the assistant coach of Loyola. Now Koppelman to Freeberg. Over to Rob Woodward. Woodward into the zone. Rob Woodward at the high slot. Shot. Oh, save. Knocked Meehan down with the shot, actually. And now the whistle stops play again, and I don't know. Penalty? No, Deerfield player in the goalie crease. Face-off move out to center ice. Somebody stuck a foot in there. Somebody from the Deerfield Warriors stuck a foot in there, and that creates the stoppage of play. 10:53 left to play. Minute 11 left on the minor. 3-2 Deerfield Warriors on top. The quarterfinals, the Amateur Hockey Association of Illinois State Tournament. Deerfield, the runner-up last year in the state. This year ranked number 1 right now in the state of Illinois. Freeberg had some trouble. Got a weak shot away here by the forechecker for the Ramblers, and now the Warriors bring it back up. Koppelman to Carmen. Carmen controls into the zone. Brian Carmen lost it off the end of his stick. Picked up by Fitzpatrick, dumped out to center ice. Koppelman to the far side, and Freeberg. Freeberg into the zone. Freeberg over to Carmen. Carmen backhands it. Back behind the net. Picked up there by Chris Bender. Bender to Woodward at the right wing. Woodward around the man. Woodward again to the slot. Right in to Carmen. No, Bender shot. Got it away. And the save. And then the puck dumped and cleared all the way down. Here's Tom Freeberg. Bringing it up out of his zone. Lost it to Rappel. Rappel ran off Quinn Bodoff's leg. And now Woodward controls at center ice. Off Rappel, now picked up by Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen turns around and into the zone. Brian Carmen on the right wing takes the shot. The save by Meehan, and he'll hold it down to the ice, but there isn't anybody there holding on. Froze it, but there wasn't anybody there from Deerfield. This year, that is actually supposed to be a delay of game penalty, or can be. I suppose it isn't if the ref doesn't call it. Ain't nothing if the ref don't call it. It can be a delay of game penalty this year. The goalies are not supposed to be freezing the puck as much as they used to. .9:42 to play in the third period. I'm glad I'm only doing 2 games today. I hate to think what my voice would be like if I did 56 or something. Aaron Oberman shot, ran into a stick and trickles to the far boards. All the way through, he had some sort of play up ahead. Or in close shot, off the side of the net. Somebody got knocked down in the crease there, and it wasn't called. Picked up by Pete Maurice. Maurice back behind the net. Dave Winfrey to the side of the net, and Meehan will try and clamp it there. Meanwhile, we have some pushing and shoving and a fight going on out here at center ice. Loicano and Herbst are fighting out at center ice. Loicano and Herbst fighting out at center ice. And the refs were down back inside the zone, and they didn't say it. Actually, they were kind of holding each other, dancing around out there. Wasn't really roughing. I mean, they could have called it roughing, but it really wasn't roughing. It may have been coincidental holding calls. They're kind of holding on to each other out here at center ice. Loicano was trying to cherry pick out at center ice, and Herbst was all over him. Drop of the puck, the draw. Controlled by the Ramblers. Whittakin backhanded back into the zone by Stuart Chester briefly. Now Herbst slaps it into the zone. Knocked down by Mike Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on the near side. Intended too far on the pass to Brabant. Wash off on the icing. And it'll be picked up in by Pete Karras. Karras to Whittakin. Broken away by Tom Freeberg. Here comes Tom Freeberg up the ice. Freeberg ahead to Bender. Bender back to Freeberg on the give and go. Freeberg on the backhand and tried to turn the corner and lost the puck. Broken away by Pat Plunkett up ahead for Whittakin. Whittakin lost it to Herbst. Herbst dumped it right back in. That was offside, way offside, and they missed it. Picked up by Bender. Shot, save, rebound. Bender again couldn't get it away by Fitzpatrick out to center ice. Brabant. Brabant though was turned the wrong way. There was a rough there to the back of the head by Pete Karras, and that wasn't called. Over here on the near side, near boards. Down the man goes Fitzpatrick. Here's the shot, the boomer by Freeberg wide. Out to center ice it goes. Brabant knocked off the puck, and Stuart Jester comes up with it. Stuart Jester dumped out to center ice. Picked up by Brabant. Brabant back in, and now the Ramblers stag up, and the Warriors have the puck, though, in their own zone. Picked up by Pete Karras. Karras on the far side. Dumps it out to center ice. Up ahead, here's Chris Bender. Picks up the puck off the boards. Bender shot high and wide to the near side, and Bender again will pick it up. Bender takes a heavy check. Now here comes Link dumping it to the far side, and here come the Loyola Ramblers. Leahy ahead to Brabant. Brabant into the zone. Brabant shot, the save, the rebound. Oh, 2 Loyola players were there, and they got tangled up. They had a free shot in there on a rebound. Here comes Brian Carmen. Carmen up into the zone. Carmen down. The shot, wide. On the pass intended for Bender. Out, broken away by Karras. Karras to Bender. Bender into the zone. Bender takes that check, comes up Rappel fed up ahead and all the way down into the Deerfield end. Eric Koppelman will pick it up there. Eric Koppelman behind the net. Koppelman through the crease over here to the near side and out to center ice. Brian Carmen across the red line, tried to take the shot, ran into to Pat Mullen. Now Eric Koppelman dumps it down. Now here's Woodward. Woodward broke the puck away. Carmen couldn't get the shot away. Oh, we got a penalty. There should be a penalty in there on Bodoff. There should be a penalty in there on Bodoff. Bodoff labeled Carmen from behind on the back of the head. We'll see, though. I don't think they're going to call it. Mullen's hurt, too. Pat Mullen going off hurt. No penalties. I'm not sure what. I got so excited there, I missed what happened. Why the whistle, but whatever. Did Meehan have it? I think Brian Meehan had the puck. 6:43 to play in the period. Drop of the puck, the draw, controlled by the Deerfield Warriors. By the Loyola Ramblers, dumped and cleared all the way down. Higgins will chase it down first, and we'll get an icing instead. Icing on the part of the Loyola Ramblers. And the faceoff will move back down into the Loyola end. 6:34 to play in the period. 3-2 still, Deerfield on top. Boy, Loyola doing a super job. That's one thing they've been all year long. Has been real strong on their defense, and they're certainly showing it tonight. And Brian Meehan is way up for this one. Winfrey, Maurice, and Freeberg. The draw to Freeberg. Got the shot away. Wide. To the far side. Up ahead. Koppelman will chase it all the way down. They'll be a wash off on the icing. Higgins will be the first man back. Higgins and Koppelman collide in the corner. In the Deerfield end. Turn around. Wraparound shot. Oh, wide. Leahy got the shot away and got labeled from behind. Nothing called. Now here comes Freeberg. Breaking in with Fitzpatrick. Picked up instead by Brabant, dumped back in the zone. Freeberg tags up, washing off the offside Brabant. Brabant couldn't get around Koppelman. Now Maurice had a little trouble with it. Now Pete Maurice comes up with it again. Maurice dumps it into the zone. The shot and the save by Meehan. Meehan gave it to the boards. And now here comes Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick up ahead. Fitzpatrick over here on the near side to Koppelman. Eric Koppelman at the blue line. Koppelman gives it back to Karras. Karras ahead to Maurice. Pete Maurice into the zone. Maurice gets blindsided by Feely, picked up now by Freeberg. Freeberg at the high slot. Freeberg in the slot, takes the shot, broken up by Fitzpatrick. Now here's Freeberg in the corner. And again, some loose play up at center ice on the part of Herbst. Nothing called. Karras and a heavy check by Feely, picked up by Freeberg. Freeberg into the zone. Freeberg shot wide. And now we have a fight going on out at center ice. Coincidental minors coming up here between Feely and Karras. Karras and Feely, coincidental minors coming up. Karras and Feely. We got minors coming up and possibly an extra minor thrown in. And Feely and Karras are both out of control here a little bit. And both teams trying to get control of their players. Feely and Karras trying to gain control here a little bit. Loyola has been trying to cherry pick all night, and the defensemen have been kind of playing around with the Loyola players out there at center ice. We got a second minor coming in, perhaps. A second minor. There is a second minor on the part of the Loyola Ramblers, I think. There's one for Feely and one for Pete Karras, and now we'll see if they have I think we have an extra minor thrown in there. 2-on-1 in the minors. Hold it a second now. We got a 5-minute major up there on the part of the Ramblers. And Feely is... Coincidental roughing minors. Okay. Coincidental roughing minors, and they goofed up on the clock again. Coincidental roughing minors. That's what it is. Okay. They goofed up on the clock. They goofed up on the clock. It's just coincidental roughing minors. All right. Karras goes for holding, and Feely goes for roughing. Anyway, now we wait again for them to set the clock, and they goofed it up again. Okay. La-da-da-da-dum-da-dum. Boy, I'll tell you, if they could ever get this clock to work, this could be an exciting game. Every time they have to stop for a penalty, it takes forever. And now offside at the faceoff. And now he just gave Mullen a delay of game penalty. Or something like that. Pat Mullen just got another penalty. Said something to Rich Simek. Warriors with the man advantage. Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen keeps it in the zone. Carmen on his backhand. Carmen feeds it out to the point, and Tom Freeberg. Freeberg at the high slot. Freeberg in to Woodward. Woodward to go over to Carmen. Carmen tried to feed it into Woodward. Woodward came up with it, but couldn't get the shot away. To the boards. Poked away from him. Now picked up by Sean Brown. Brown dumps it into the zone. This is the sort of game you got to watch the play behind the actual puck here. Now it's picked up by Brian Carmen. Brian Carmen up the ice. Brian Carmen into the zone. Carmen turned around. Shot and the save. Grabbed and held on. This one getting a little rugged here. 4:36 to play in the third period. Getting a little rugged. Started off so well, and now it's starting to get a little rugged out there. A little extra hitting behind the play. Drop of the puck and the draw by Brian Carmen to Koppelman. Over to the far side, Freeberg. Freeberg shot, ran into a leg, and Koppelman kept it in the zone. To Woodward. Woodward with Carmen. Woodward in, shoots, scores! Rob Woodward puts it in, and it's 4-2, Deerfield Warriors. The Deerfield Warriors on top now, 4-2 on the goal by Rob Woodward. Nice job by Koppelman, and it was the Loyola Ramblers that got caught a little flat there, 2-on-1 break. And the strength of Rob Woodward. Drop of the puck to Quinn Bodoff. Bodoff, Herbst in his own zone, gave it up to Quinn Bodoff. Bodoff shot high to Brian Carmen in his own zone. Carmen through the slot, brings it up as the center. Right up the red line. Blue line, shot, saved by Meehan, rebound, and Meehan grabs it and holds on. And now some words as Brian Carmen took a swat at Meehan skating by. Four on four on the ice right now after the Deerfield goal, which was a power play goal by Rob Woodward. Drop of the puck, the draw controlled by the Warriors to the corner. Oh, a hard-fought game, super game actually. John Herbst shot wide. Over to Brian Cooper. Cooper bounced it up to Tom Freeberg. Freeberg dumps it back behind the net. Left back there Fitzpatrick to the far side. Mamagin out to center ice. Picked up there by Koppelman. Koppelman dumped it in. Picked up by Mike Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick overskated the puck. Now Fitzpatrick comes up with it again, dumps it out to center ice. Picked up there by Eric Koppelman. Koppelman dumps it right back into the zone. Cooper on a funny bounce again off that Zamboni door. Higgins up ahead. Mamagin. Higgins. Shot. Oh, save just barely. A little sloppy. Now Adam Marcus grabs it and holds on. And again, some pushing and shoving going on. Fitzpatrick and Chris Bender having a few words. So you're a senior, huh? What college are you going to? That's what they're talking about, right? You're a senior? What college are you going to? Oh, well, I'm going to. No, you don't believe it? I don't either. 3:06 to play the third period, 4-2. All the minors should be off. Apparently there's a major thrown in there or something. I don't know. There's somebody sitting in the box on a penalty, but there shouldn't be. Drop of the puck. And out. Lose a puck. There must have been a major penalty thrown in there, and I didn't see it, and I never heard it. There was a major penalty in there that I didn't hear or see on the part of the Loyola Ramblers. Pete Karras to the far side, out to center ice, and all the way down. So the Deerfield Warriors have the man advantage basically for the rest of this period, and then some. Freeberg, goal! John Freeberg, goal! And it's 5-2, Deerfield. Tom Freeberg. I think, again, that's that funny boards over there. The funny boards here at the rink gave it up to Tom Freeberg. And Freeberg poked it home from the slot. Here's Pete Karras. Pete Karras back behind the net. Back inside his zone, rather. Up to Herbst. Herbst gave it up to Mullen. Mullen bounced off the boards. Picked up by Woodward, and Woodward had it range off his stick. Now Woodward will retreat, picking up the puck by himself, bring it up the ice. Woodward around two men. Rob Woodward up the ice. Here comes Rob Woodward. Woodward gave it back to Oberman. Oberman playing around with it, out at center ice, blindsided, nothing called. Over here to the near side, picked up by Oberman right through the slot, out to the point, held in by Herbst. Herbst shot way high and wide. We lose the puck out of the rink. Well, the only thing I can think of was a major for fighting. The only thing I can think of is Feely got a 5-minute major for fighting. And with that 5-minute major, he would be excused for the evening if that indeed were the case. Picked up by Freeberg. Freeberg over here on the near side. Dumped out by Cooper. Now all the way down. And now picked up by Tom Freeberg. Freeberg turns the corner. Freeberg brings it up the ice himself. Tom Freeberg across the red line, the blue line, into the zone. Tom Freeberg stops, controls, into Bender. Chris Bender back to Freeberg. Out to the high slot. Here's Karras. Shot. Ran into traffic. Picked up by Pete Maurice. Maurice tried to feed Freeberg. Now from behind, Freeberg got hit by Bonoff. Should have been called. Shot a goal! Pete Maurice! And some pushing and shoving again in the slot in there. Pete the race with the goal on the near side, right wing back door.
One more time. Everybody.
And it's 6-2, the Deerfield Warriors on top. Deerfield Warriors leading at 6-2, and the Loyola Ramblers having a little discussion over there along the boards. 3:11 left on that major penalty, so that's going to end up spilling into the next period any way they look at it. Loyola down by 4, though. Long road for them to get back into this. And Loyola, no matter what, will still be skating short-handed here. Now picked up by Jim Hart. Hart into the zone. Broken away by Lycano. Lycano back behind the net. Lycano on the near side. Lycano fed it up ahead for Sean Brown. Sean Brown couldn't get it through. Now broken away by Jeff Warren. Warren one-on-one. Warren and Grenade comes in to help out. Grenade comes up with the puck and it squirts into me and grabbed and held on. Grenade got knocked off the puck too. Got knocked off his feet. 1 minute exactly to play in the period. Or as I used to say on the PA system, 1 minute. Had to do that once this year. Fed up ahead. Here's Pat Mullen. Mullen trying to get it into the zone. Broken away by John Herbst. Herbst dumps it out to center ice. Up ahead. Picked up by Todd Link. Link over here to Pat Plunkett. Pat Plunkett at center ice. Feeds it up ahead to Brabant. Brabant into the zone. Brabant bumped off the puck. Now picked up by Grenade. Grenade gives it up to Jim Hart. Hart avoids the check. The puck trickles into the zone. Now picked up by Bernstein. Bernstein. Now Brabant. Brabant squirts it out to center ice. Todd Link. Todd Link off his stick to Herbst. Herbst back ahead to Hart. Hart to Grenade. Behind Grenade. Now picked up by Mullen. Mullen takes the shot. Ran off a skate to the corner. Picked up by Brabant. Brabant right through the crease. Grenade being a little lazy with it. Now up ahead, Rob Woodward. Rob Woodward turns around. Woodward skated off the puck and grabbed and held on by Meehan as Woodward is taken down to the ice by Todd Link. Good play actually by Todd Link. 2 seconds left to play in the third period. 6-2, the Deerfield Warriors on top. Rugged game. This broadcast has been brought to you on the broadcasting rights granted by the Metro-North Hockey Network, solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of subscriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Metro-North Hockey Network is strictly prohibited. Broadcast rights also granted by the amateur hockey Loyola Ramblers, too. The Ramblers seniors are done playing hockey in the state of Illinois at the high school level. Their careers are over. The Loyola season is over. But the Deerfield Warriors will advance to the semifinals and will play the winner of the Marist Glenbrook South game, which will actually follow here at Franklin Park right after that one. We'll have that game for you, the Deerfield game, hopefully on Wednesday. Wednesday broadcast. The game actually going to be played March 15th. So for now, until our next broadcast, this is Mark Braun saying so long, everybody. From Franklin Park, final score again, Deerfield 6 and Loyola 2. This has been a presentation of the Metro-North Hockey Network.